Hello, good evening, everyone. Happy Wednesday evening, March the 9th, 2022. I am Radlin Mendoza, and this is my law partner and husband, John Gardner, and we are the founders of Gardner Mendoza Immigration Law Firm here in Virginia Beach.
How's everyone doing out there today?
Hope y'all are well
Tonight.
here. Yeah. Shout out to our niece, Ayana Mendoza. She is 20 years old today. Happy birthday.
Yep.
We're
Happy
really
birthday,
sorry
Ayana.
that we are missing your birthday dinner, but duty calls because we come here every Wednesday night. So
That's right.
I hope that you all had a great week. And if you haven't joined us before, we join you live every Wednesday night from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for an hour to answer your immigration questions and give you any type of immigration updates of the week. So hello
right.
as well to TikTok. They are over there.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a while now. We do this every Wednesday. And like Radlin said, we come and we answer your questions that you have. We also give you immigration law updates if there are any updates, other general legal updates if we think that they're important. And we have a whole family of TikTok folks over here, and I will be monitoring those questions. So if you see me looking over here to the side all the time, that's just me scrolling through the TikTok questions and trying to get them up. I will tell you folks on TikTok, it's easier if you come through the Facebook page with your questions because it's easier for us to see them. We can also post them, which makes them more helpful to other folks who are joining us as well. So if you're on TikTok, that's cool. We love TikTok. But if you have a question, especially if it's a little bit longer, try to come over to the Facebook page to post it up. That's better. Okay.
All right. And also just kind of a quick reminder to the folks on TikTok and followers on TikTok. Y'all, there's a lot of scammers out on TikTok. And so what's been happening is somebody's putting, taking my likeness and name, similar name, and changing it around a little bit, like maybe adding an extra additional letter, and then asking you in the comments, if you ask me a question, they'll ask you in the comments to text WhatsApp. And so someone has already been defrauded $200 and almost an additional $1,000. So please be careful. I'm never going to ask you to text me WhatsApp. And also, you're not typically going to be paying anything unless you talk to a person and at our office and schedule that appointment. The exception is if you're self-scheduling a consult, a 20-minute consultation. So y'all just be careful about that because I don't want anyone else to get ripped off and get their money hard-earned money taken away from them. So we've got a couple of folks already on. Hello, Casey. Hello, Chris. Hello,
and
Rebecca.
Before we answer the questions, real quick, the one thing I did want to mention is a disclaimer that what we do here is for informational and educational purposes only. It is technically not legal advice. And I will say that once again about halfway through as well. All right. Just a reminder.
All right. Awesome. So Chris is saying hello from Hawaii. Hello again, Chris from Hawaii. Thank you for joining us
fantastic.
again.
Great place. If you've never been to Hawaii, what an absolutely fantastic place.
Beautiful.
And I'm in the middle of a book right now. Speaking of Hawaii, I'm about halfway through it about the Nisi soldiers from Hawaii who served during World War II. Really a fascinating story if you're into history and Hawaii, I guess, for that matter.
All right. So I'm going to put Casey's question up here. She says, hi, I'm an H-1B, and as per my employer, I'm only allowed to have stocks and crypto as another source of income. We're all feeling the tumble there, Casey, with the stocks and crypto.
Everywhere.
My question is, can I do e-commerce like Shopify or any small business, since in that way I will not be working for another employer? That is a really good question and not one that I know off the top. So e-commerce like Shopify, and I think I don't know, I know that you sell products on Shopify. There's some stuff that you have to do in order to get your products on Shopify. So the question that I can answer is I do have H-1B. We do have H-1B clients, and they do invest in businesses and things like that. And you cannot be actively working or do anything that is going to potentially look like work for the business. So one example is, say, a barbershop, right? And you invest in a barbershop, and but you're not running it. You're not working there. You're not sweeping the floors. You're not doing anything there at all. You're basically just taking any returns on investment, if any, with zero activity. So sometimes the client will say, well, can I go to my barbershop? I'm like, yeah, you can go there, but what are you going to do there? Can I sweep the floor? No, you can't work there. You can't do anything there. Um, I'm pretty picky about that, just because I don't want my clients to be doing anything that would potentially jeopardize their green card application down the road with unauthorized employment. And again, I think that some attorneys might advise otherwise, just because it's probably a very rare chance that sweeping the floor, or dusting or whatever is going to be found out by immigration, then maybe turn into, hey, she worked or he worked. So the Shopify question, I'm really not sure. So I'm going to have to get back with you on that, Casey, but it's a really good question, and something to think about, because of course a lot of people are, making passive income. That's kind of the, like say you are a creator on TikTok, and put your Venmo up there for people to pay you money for whatever you do. Say you're a DJ. It's a good question, and I'm sorry I don't have a direct answer, but I will figure that out and get back with you. Thanks for that question, Casey. If you shoot us a message through Messenger, so I don't miss the comment, that'd be great.
Okay, and we've got some folks here that are asking, several folks are asking what our Facebook page is. They want to go over there, but nobody on TikTok knows what the Facebook page is.
Oh, that's a problem. It's at Gardner Mendoza Law. Gardner Mendoza Law.
At Gardner Mendoza Law.
And that's our Facebook page. Gardner Mendoza is our law firm. All right. So we have a couple of questions here. Do you have any there?
Well, we got a comment here. It says, hello, thank you for the help you guys gave me. My dad just got his biometrics. All right. Well,
all right. Fantastic.
We're able to help you out. That's wonderful.
Step in the right direction. Biometrics is a step in the right direction. All right. Let's see here. So Twiggy is asking a really broad question of, hello, I was wondering, what are the options for F1 students who are trying to be able to apply for the green card? So some of the typical things that we see in our office is the F1, of course, after their studies, they get their OPT, and then they are lucky enough to find an employer that likes them while they're doing their OPT work for that employer. And then the employer will file an H-1B, and they are lucky enough to get picked from the lottery, lucky enough to apply and have their petition approved, and then work in H-1B status. And then that employer, again, likes the employee a lot, and so wants to go and do that further step of applying for labor certification for them for permanent employment, which leads to lawful permanent residency. So that's one way. There are also ways that you can self-petition. There is the national interest waiver. You have to show that you have advanced degree, and also are you doing work that is of national importance. And so those, and there are requirements for the national interest waiver. There's the person of extraordinary ability if you want to self-petition. There's the O1 person of extraordinary ability and in a non-immigrant status. If you're, if you want to go work for a religious organization, a church or synagogue, then there's the R1. I mean, there are several ways for the F1, and it's a really great question. It's very broad, and I can throw out not a bunch of other stuff, but I mean, there are other things too, like humanitarian ways that you may be able to get something if you qualify for a humanitarian remedy. one being temporary protected status. So that could segues really well into, our update. And I can't remember if I believe this was.
I think it happened.
Yeah, I think it happened after.
The
Yeah.
day after last week when we came on, we were talking about the Biden administration potentially granting TPS for Ukrainians. And I think literally the next morning it was announced. So most of you probably already know that, but if you don't, that has happened. So if you are here in any capacity and you're from the Ukraine and you're concerned now, you definitely want to contact us to see what you need to do to take advantage of that. Okay.
Right. And we are going to be holding some free workshops here, and it will most likely, it may be in person, but it also may be virtual. But we're going to be working with local law schools to help us put this workshop on for people from Ukraine and who are interested in applying for TPS. So stay tuned for that. But Twiggy, great question.
Yeah, and if you don't know, TPS is temporary protected status. Basically, what it would mean is that if you're here and it's coming time to go back to the Ukraine, you can stay longer than you otherwise would be able to stay as a result of the conditions in Ukraine being what they are right now.
Wartime, yeah.
Since there's a situation there that is obviously you wouldn't be able to go back to. All right. Well,
right.
Or that the administration has deemed that you shouldn't have to go back to. So that's wonderful news. A lot of terrible news from the Ukraine, but that's one good thing for Ukrainians that are here right now.
All right. Any questions over on the TikTok?
We got Tintin checking in from Maryland. Happy to see that.
DMV.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The first question that we'd had earlier was what test you would need to take. What test should we take if we're applying for citizenship this year?
Test is the old test, 2008, I believe is the date, not the one that is still on the website that came out, I believe, 2021. So it's the old one with 100 questions. Don't study the new one. They got rid of that one. And that one was in effect for a very short period of time, and then it was yanked. So it is the 2008 civics test, not the one from 2021, I believe was the year.
All right. And we've also got Madriguero saying Kamusta.
Your Filipino accent's terrible like mine.
But anyway, active U.S. military in Spain joining us. So that's
all
fantastic.
Right. Fantastic. Love Spain. Love Spain. We were there for a couple of months.
Thank you for your service. And depending on the time there,
the 6 hours ahead.
I could say Magandang umaga.
Magandang umaga. Magandang umaga. Yeah. I do not speak Tagalog. I understand Tagalog. Accent is terrible. Anytime I try to speak, Spanish comes out because I can speak Spanish. Anyway, let's see. Jake has a question here. Hello, I am married with same sex. My green card is under his last name, but Philippines does not recognize same-sex marriage, so my passport is under my maiden name. I'm going to the Philippines this year. Am I going to have a problem coming back to the United States? So it sounds like Jake is not able to change the passport. Is that seems to be what the issue is? And Jake is concerned that, he's got his green card under his last name. Wait, is it his last name or husband's last name? Okay, so let's just assume that it's under your husband's last name, and so your green card does not match the name on your passport. My tip there would be to travel with your marriage certificate when you're coming back in, so you're able to show them the name matching up. The reason why your name is different on the green card is because you got married. Here is the certified copy of your marriage certificate. It matches the last name on your green card, and it shows the name change. So that would be my tip for you. All right. Let's see.
Yeah, we've got a quick one here that we might want some more information. This was an early question. Should I file a petition now that I'm a U.S. citizen? Thank you so much. We would need to know a little bit more there. What kind of petition are you talking about? We think we probably might know, but
It's always the right time to file a petition, right?
But if you could follow up with a little more detail, what specifically, what kind of petition are you talking about here? I'm assuming it's for some family member, but
I would file the petition. Probably. 9 times out of 10, we're going to tell you to file the petition. But we don't know. Like, we would need to know, is it a good idea to file that petition?
No, and you want to make sure that it's not going to trigger some trouble that you don't need.
Okay, Tony has a really good question. Tony says, question, I've just got married. Congratulations. And here on a visa waiver, which runs out in 10 days. Where do I start and what forms do I need to fill out, etc.? So, Tony, you came in on the visa waiver. Let's just assume that you got married to a U.S. citizen. If you got married to a U.S. citizen, then folks who are here on a visa waiver and get married to a U.S. citizen are eligible for adjustment of status. So basically, that means that you can adjust your status from that of a visitor to that of a lawful permanent resident in the United States based on marriage to U.S. citizen. And all of the forms, the applications, the petition, the supporting documents, all have to be filed. Well, they don't have to be, but they should be filed together. I don't know, should be, have to be. We'll just say should be. Should be filed together. And one of the biggest mistakes that we see when people are self-filing, and I don't know if you intend to self-file or not, is that you're filing things in separate places. You're waiting for the petition to get approved and then you file the green card application later. So everything is filed together. And I have a really great video on our TikTok page. It's Immigration Lawyer 1 on TikTok. And I go over and list all of the petitions and applications that have to be filed with that concurrent filing when you're doing adjustment of status, if you want to check that out. And I think that'll be very helpful for you to take a look at that. But with regard to where do you start, it is essentially preparing and filing all of those forms along with your supporting documents and filing that with USCIS with the filing fee. The filing fee is $1,760. So, yeah, that's a really great question. And it's something that we do all the time. So if you need help with it,
that's an exciting, you're an exciting lot going on and at the front end of this. And absolutely, we do a lot of these. So if you would prefer to just have us take care of it, then please contact us and we'd be happy to do it.
Yeah. And our contact information, if anyone wants to give us a call, it's 757-464-9224, 757-464-9224. You can also send us an email to info@gmlaw.net. All right. What else do we have?
It kind of reminds me of your immigration case is kind of like the bar exam. When we were preparing for the bar, there was a slogan, do it once, do it right, never do it again.
That's right.
So
that is right.
You kind of want to have that approach with your immigration case as well. You want to just get it right the first time so that you don't have any hassle in time. So we do have some more questions coming in here. We have one here. My parents' I-485 has passed 802 days. Still, we haven't heard anything. Is there anything I can do?
The 485, 802 days. That's over
2.5 years.
Yeah. That's a long time. It's a long time. That is a long time. So the first thing that you need to do is to check your processing times in your particular jurisdiction where your parents would be adjusting status. Okay. So I don't know, maybe some jurisdictions take 802 plus days to adjust the status of parents of a U.S. citizen. Thankfully, ours does not take that long, but yours may. So check to see what the processing times are. If the processing times are outside of processing times, then of course, I'm sure you've already been doing this and making status inquiries with the 1-800 number with USCIS. And then you may want to add that, seeking out congressional assistance, congressional liaison assistance, so they can help you follow up with that with the USCIS. And for those of you who have not joined our new Facebook group, Live, Love, Immigration, pinned at the top of that are the instructions on how to reach out and make a congressional inquiry for immigration purposes. We have an amazing person who works with us. We're fortunate enough to have Jackie, and she worked with congressmen for 8+ years. And this is what she did. And now she works for us. So she has pinned up instructions on how to do that. It's not hard, but it's something that I strongly feel you do in order to up on that. And even if it's not outside of processing times, follow up anyway with a congressional liaison inquiry, because that's a long time. I mean, 802 days is ridiculous. But processing times are ridiculous, guys. I don't know what to tell you. They're really long right now. So hang in there. But it's a good question. All right. This is a good question here. There's a lot of marriage questions. Jake has posted this question so many. Jake, why did you post it so many times? Anyway, all right. We answered Jake's question already, but he keeps coming up.
Yeah, I've got one here.
Okay, go ahead. Go for it.
Jamaica 20. I'm going to ask her as well to come over to the Facebook page to try to post this question, because it's coming in a bunch of little pieces. And so I'm having a hard, I want you to be able to answer this, because I know you're going to be able to help her with this, but it's so many little fragments that I really want it as a block. So Jamaica 20 at Gardner Mendoza Law, come over to Facebook. It'll be easier for us. Okay.
This is so weird. I'm looking at our comments here. Hold on a second. It's weird how...
Because there's a piece of this missing. She basically wants to know...
Why do we have one... Anyway, maybe this is it right here. All right. Let me go back. Sorry. Yes, come on over to Facebook and pop that question in there. Let's see here. We're pinned up on this. Let me...
Yeah, she said her stepdad is a citizen.
Okay.
She and her mom her dad is a citizen, petitioned for her before she turned 21. She and her mom have green cards.
Okay.
And they want to bring their brother. And they want to know if he can be petitioned for as well, but I don't, there's missing information.
He can be petitioned for. Depending on how old he is, it may take a really long time. But so you know, if he's your brother and same parents can do the same thing.
Right. Her mom married a U.S. citizen, and the stepdad petitioned her before she turned 21. Also petitioned for her mother. So she and her mom both have green cards, but apparently there's a brother out there.
Brother is back home. How old is brother?
She wants to know if he can petition for the brother. Yeah. How old is the brother?
So stepdad can petition for the brother, but only if stepdad and mom got married prior to brother turning 18.
Prior to turning 18.
Yeah. And your mom can petition for him too if he's unmarried, as a lawful permanent resident. All right. We can help you with that. We can help analyze that. Absolutely. So guys, if we're answering questions and you would like to know more information or have us assist you with this, we're happy to meet with you, consult with you. We do offer virtual consultations. We charge $275 for up to 1 hour consultation. And 1 hour consultation, usually, you know, our clients may have some follow-up questions. We also answer follow-up questions. Our potential clients have follow-up questions. We answer questions after the consultation as well. So if you want us to assist you and we can even just lay out a roadmap for you on how to go about doing this. We do have consultations available virtual, and they're typically done through Zoom, but we also meet people through FaceTime. I've been doing a lot of FaceTime with folks as of late. So we would love to talk to you. would love to help you
It's
with
absolutely
your
worth
brother.
it to consult with a professional who can make sure that you're taking the right first steps, guide you through it if that's what you ultimately decide to do. I mean, if we represent you, that's obviously great because we can literally walk you the entire way through, make sure everything goes correctly. If you just want to have a consultation to make sure that you're, getting off on the right foot, not making any major mistakes right out of the gate, that obviously is extremely useful as well. And it doesn't matter where you are. We have clients all over the country, all over the world, and wherever you are, we can work with you just as easily as if you were right here.
All right. Faisal says, hey, thank you for your help last week. Welcome back. Can my wife apply for an adjustment of status when she is here on vacation whilst her petition I-130 is still pending in the UK? I'm just kidding. I knew I'd say that. I just
that's some British English for you, right?
What? We're not. Yeah. I wasn't laughing at that. I was just laughing at my pronunciation.
Oh, I know.
Whilst. Is it whilst or whilst?
Whilst.
Okay. On vacation whilst her petition I-130 is still pending. Right. What is your authority on whether it's whilst or
Oxford for a semester.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty good. All right. Faisal just answer my question. We're not answering this question. We're just gonna have a good time. We're having a good time and answering the question. Okay. So this is a very touchy. There are a lot of nuances in the answer to this question. My question number one, is your wife here now? That's question number one. Probably not, the way the question is asked. So here are the considerations, okay? The considerations are, if your wife is here and maybe she came in on the Esta, or maybe she has a tourist visa. Are you a U.S. citizen? Let's just assume you are a U.S. citizen. You have a U.S. flag. I don't remember from last week. Sorry if you told me, but U.S. citizen. You have filed an I-130 petition for your wife for consular processing abroad. So it's waiting. Then you got to go to the National Visa Center process. Then you got to wait for your interview. And then in the meantime, your wife wants to come and visit. Now, we do that for our clients. Our clients ask that question. Okay, if I file this I-130 petition, can she still visit? And the answer is yes, she can still visit. But sometimes if asked at the port of entry at the airport, they say, what is the purpose of your trip? Purpose of my trip is to visit my U.S. citizen husband. Now, you don't have to say U.S. citizen husband, but that could be a follow-up question. Okay, well, what is the status of your husband? He's a U.S. citizen. All right. You have an I-130 petition pending? Yes, I do. He has filed an I-130 petition for me. Well, are you going to file for adjustment of status while you're here? I mean, I don't know if I want to let you in or not because you've got this I-130 petition pending, and we know how long it's taking. So how can we be sure that you're not coming in here on this tourist visa or on this Esta just so you can do adjustment of status? I'm not. I swear. Okay. I'm not. Here's a letter from my immigration lawyer, Radlin Mendoza, and she lays it all out. I'm not your lawyer. She lays it all out and she says, hey, our client has a pending I-130 petition. We filed it for her. She wants to come in here on a temporary basis to visit her husband. And here's her return ticket. Here's proof of employment that she's still working abroad. We've advised her that she should not and will not file for adjustment of status. So these are some of the status letters that we send, just because we don't want our clients to have to get turned back. So the reason I'm telling you all of this is because that could potentially be an issue if your wife is not here yet on the Esta or the tourist visa, that she may be asked all these questions, and then she may be not forced, but she may have to say, no, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just staying for a short period of time. I'm going back. if she says that and she comes, then they're like, okay, cool. She comes in, you guys apply for adjustment of status. Then there's a misrepresentation, right? Then she's actually made a material misrepresentation at the port of entry, which could require a waiver. Now, again, I'm talking about parade of horribles. Faisal is just like, look, I just asked a simple question: can she do it or not? But this is something that you have to be aware of when you're contemplating this question, especially if she's not here, right? Because then you're forming an intent, right? You're and maybe this is your intent and not your wife's intent. She might have no idea that you're asking me this question on live stream. But if she also has that intent, then just know that it's an impermissible intent to come in on an Esta or a tourist visa with the intent to apply for adjustment of status. And but that all said, this is a really long answer to this question. That all said, yes, if your wife comes in on the tourist visa and you've got this I-130 petition pending, and she came in, her intent was not to file for adjustment of status, but whatever circumstances changed, right? Circumstances changed. What could those circumstances be? I'll give a sad one, which is a true story. One of my clients, the petitioner, found out he had cancer. And so while his wife was visiting and they had the pending I-130, she stayed. She's like, I'm not going back. I'm going to take care. I want to take care of my husband. So that's an example. I'm sure I could think of a happy example, like a circumstances change. Okay, well, maybe your wife finds out she's pregnant and she wants to have the medical care in the United States, or she doesn't want to leave, or there are these are changed circumstances as to why she would come in on an ESTA on the B1, B2, change your mind about staying in the United States and filing for adjustment of status because she's got that I-130 petition pending. So, yeah, I don't know if I answered the question or not, but the answer is yes or no, and no, and it depends. The answer is it depends. Mm-hmm. So you just got to be careful. Faisal, let me know if you're completely confused or if you are feeling me and you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. That would be helpful for me to redirect and maybe provide more explanation. All right. What do we have?
Yeah, so Kay wants to know if we do T visas. So I'm trying to remember. That's the victims of human trafficking.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know.
So we definitely analyze and take a look at cases that are eligible for T visas. We do not. We have not done a T visa. I haven't had the opportunity to do a T visa. I was really close, but no, we don't. But that doesn't mean we can't. So. All right.
And O2 wants to know, can you get your own appointment in the U.S. Embassy for an interview?
It depends on the embassy, depends on the country. So some countries will schedule for you, most, I would say, and maybe all of them are doing that now, but some allow you to schedule that. Okay, I missed a question here. Hold on a second. Here we go. Tofik says, can I apply for citizenship after 3 years marriage or 3 years after my green card?
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if that's also Burke 1974. We have the exact same question. That was going to be my next one.
Is it the same photo?
I can't know.
All right. Good question.
So hopefully maybe it's two people asking the same question. That'll be great.
Look, we got to it here before there.
It was literally the next one.
Because it is tough to see on that. As you can see, John is struggling. He's struggling to read those. So come on over, put your question.
Well, they're little snippets, and then it scrolls around.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So generally speaking, if you are married to a U.S. citizen, you can file for U.S. citizenship 2 years and 9 months after you get your green card, if you're still married and living with that U.S. citizen. So his question was, can I apply for citizenship after 3 years of marriage or 3 years after the green card? It's 3 years after the green card. So, and you can apply 90 days early, which is why I'm saying 2 years and 9 months. Hopefully that helps. Okay, let's
Do you want
see
to
here.
stab at a timing question? I know
Sure.
the timing questions are trouble.
We don't like to answer timing questions, but well, sure, I'll say the same thing that I almost always say.
The reason we don't, it's not because we have no idea. It's just that it's very difficult with timing questions to know because there are so many variables in the case that, really require a much, deeper dive for us to drill down and find out a lot more about it.
Yeah.
When people just, ask the question like, well, how long is it going to take? Gosh, it depends on so many different factors. But one person here says, I applied for my I-140. That's how she phrased it. How long is it going to be processing for that to know the result?
Yeah. So essentially go to, you'll need to know where the I-140 is, but go to USCIS processing times. Just Google that, guys. This is for everyone. Google USCIS processing times, and where it'll be the top thing that will come up. And then you put in the form number. The form number here is I-140. You can just push the little arrow and then it'll have all the forms and a drop down menu. Click on I-140. The next box is going to say service center. You click on the service center where your I-140 is. And then you hit submit. I think it's submit. And then the processing times come up. And that will give you an idea of how long it's going to take. So hopefully y'all can do that. And I like to tell people how to check their own processing times because we do get a lot of, questions about this. And it just feels good to be able to like, okay, I filed this. It's only been like 8 months and they're taking 15 months. This is a hypothetical. I'm not talking specifically about the I-140. And, then you kind of know, right? Like, the person who asked about their parents' adjustment of status pending for 802 days, very specific, he's frustrated, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would be frustrated too. That's a really long time for that. And but if you check the processing time and say you're in a jurisdiction where it is taking a really long time for whatever reason, then maybe you like, okay, it's taking 3 years, but it's long anyway. We're not gonna talk about that anymore.
And the timing, it is frustrating, and you're not alone. There are a couple other ones. I didn't take these other questions because they're the same questions, but there are a couple other people who also had almost identical waiting times, and they've said that they've reached out for congressional assistance. They've done everything, and everybody just keeps telling them it's COVID backlogs.
So there's Congressional, you've reached out through Congressional. I mean, if it's outside of the processing times, okay, way outside, it doesn't even have to be way outside of them. I mean, you always have the lawsuit remedy, right? The nuclear option of filing a lawsuit against the government. And, if it's outside of processing times, you can do that. And it just may do the trick. I mean, we've done it a couple of times recently and it did the trick.
It was
extremely
successful.
Yes. Extremely effective. And, it's annoying, right? It's annoying that our clients have to pay to file the lawsuit, pay us to file the lawsuit. And but it's filing a lawsuit and suing USCIS, suing Department of Homeland Security, suing your field office director and, the director of the service center.
Yeah. And I mean, it is expensive. It's a big step. I mean, it's federal litigation technically. So,
yeah.
It's a big deal. It is effective.
Right. So if you're very, very frustrated, and the clients that we've done it for in the past, they were up to here and beyond. And even we had to push them to file the lawsuit, right? Because it's scary. It's daunting to have to file a lawsuit against the government. And also there's the backlash. Our clients have the backlash, the fear that, oh my gosh, are they going to backlash against us and deny the case because we filed a lawsuit? Like, no, actually, you're going to approve the case. So anyhow, there's always that option, guys. We can only file lawsuits. Well, I'm not going to say that. Reach out if you want to file a lawsuit. We would pay if it's not in our jurisdiction. We would pair up with a local
Yeah, I was
attorney
gonna
who's
say we
willing
can-
to file. But we, the people that we've done it for, even though they've gone through years of waiting, they are so happy when the case gets approved, right? And again, it's not always going to be approval. Maybe it's give us more information, but they're just so happy that the case is approved. And I don't care that I spent all this money and all this worry and all this time. So happy that it got approved. I can, get my citizenship, move on with my life, have the I-130 petition approved, move on with my life. I mean, they didn't even care what the answer was. They didn't even care whether it was like an approval, a denial. I don't care. I just want an answer. I've been waiting for 2, 3, 4 years. Like, come on. So that's always an option. What was the question again? Processing times?
Well, no, we were talking about the timing, and you were telling them how they can find out what the processing times are, and that some people are very frustrated, like the folks who are waiting 2.5 years. And I said that there's more than one person
Yeah.
on TikTok tonight. They've been commiserating that have the exact same waiting,
Yeah.
and they're not thrilled about it. And so you can try to check that out. You can have a consultation with us, and we can walk you through it, and we can check it out, the timing. And if you ultimately want to go down that other road that we just talked about, that's always an option as well.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm looking here. Just making sure I don't miss anything. Do you have a question there? I do have one
Nurse
here.
James wants to know: does filing for the I-129F after filing the I-130 help make the process for the I-130 faster?
This is a good question, and one now that we've been asked 3 times
Every week.
4 every week, actually.
3 weeks in a row now.
So who asked that question?
This was Nurse.
All right.
Nurse Jamesy.
Nurse Jamesy. So the answer to that question is we haven't done that before. I have heard from colleagues that it does make it faster. We're seriously thinking about doing it for a couple of our cases that are in California. But I don't have any personal experience as to whether that makes it faster. I have heard, again, from a colleague that it does, and that is a strategy that they use in order to get that I-129F approved faster. So hopefully that helps. If you want us to, I think we said this last week.
What's that?
If you want us to try it, we'll be happy to, take your money and try it out. But in all seriousness, we're probably about to do it with a case that's in the California Service Center.
And Gen X Matt wants to know our Facebook page again, at Gardner Mendoza Law. All right.
At Gardner Mendoza Law.
At Gardner Mendoza Law.
GARDNER Mendoza, MENDOZA.
And here's a real quick one before you get to some of those look longer there. How do I get a copy of my naturalization certificate?
Oh,
sorry you're asking that question.
Yeah. You have to file for a replacement certificate of naturalization. It is, I believe, over $1,000 to do that. So yeah.
So you can get it.
You can absolutely get it. But it's pricey. It's expensive. We just did one for a client. I don't really remember why he needed or wanted it, but yeah, he paid over $1,000 and we did it and he got it. So, all right. Zana says, Mom is currently here. I-94 is until April 15th, 2022. Can we extend the stay? So the answer to the question, I guess the question is, can we extend the stay?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. All right. That's the question. You see how lawyers always try to make a simple question into a complicated one. I don't know. I was going to make this a complicated question.
Want to go into a period of stay authorized by the
yeah. Okay.
Attorney General.
So the short answer is yes, and then I'll give you a long answer. The short answer is yes. You can file an extension of stay for mom. Mom, let's just presume that she's here on a tourist visa and you want to extend it for another 6 months because mom's having a good time and you want mom to hang out more with you, with grandchildren, with the rest of the family. You want to take mom to Disney, whatever the reasons are why mom wants to stay longer. Yes, you can file that extension. The form is the I-539. And you have to put the evidence in there as to what the plans are. Does she have money to support herself, etc. The second follow-up question I have is, are you a U.S. citizen? Can you petition for mom? Does mom want to stay here permanently as a lawful permanent resident? That is also a possibility. So, generally speaking, the parents of U.S. citizens can adjust their status to that of lawful permanent resident while they are here visiting on a B1, B2 visa. So the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of times people ask this question when, the question really should be, can I file for a green card for my mom? And what does that do to her April 15th, 2022 departure date? Does she have to leave on April 15th, 2022 if I filed the green card application and I-130 petition application for her? And the answer is no. If you file an I-130 petition green card application for mom, and this is parent of a U.S. citizen, guys, I'm not talking about everybody else, she will be in a period of stay authorized by the Department of Homeland Security. And she will be allowed to stay here until that decision is made. Is it going to take 802 days? Mom does not want to be petitioned. Okay. But then you can file that and she can get her green card, her lawful permanent residency. But Xana says mom does not want to be petitioned. And that's really an important factor as well, because the children of the children are always wanting to do this process for their parent. And we've seen it more than once where, you file for mom and dad, mom is like, oh yeah, okay, great, we'll come. And then they come to the United States, but they don't really establish any residency here, and they kind of go back and forth, and ultimately can lose their residency, all that money that you paid for filing fees and immigration attorney to get the green card for your parents, and they lose it because they can't remain in the United States, or they go back and forth. So anyhow, short answer, long, yes, you can extend mom's stay with the I-539. All right. Let's see.
We've got a Mia here.
A Mia.
We have a Mia.
We have a Mia. Let's put Mia's question up. Hello, attorney. We're looking for a lawyer to help us for our paperwork to be done. We are a K-1 visa holder. We're your people. Reach out to us, Mia.
Mm-hmm.
We can absolutely help you with that. If you are here on a K-1 and you want to go and file the green card application, if that's what you're saying, if you need the K-1, we can also help you with that as well. But we would be very happy to assist you and your family.
And we love your name.
And we love your name. Our oldest daughter's name is Mia. We miss her very much. She's in her first year of college. Yep.
Okay. Do you want to take another one there? We had a couple follow-ups. You'd answered the question earlier about the citizenship. Could you just maybe hit it real quick again? We're getting some questions on TikTok about how long before you can apply for citizenship.
Okay. Yeah, sure. So if you received your lawful permanent residency from through marriage to a U.S. citizen, and if you are still married to the U.S. citizen and living with a U.S. citizen, you can file for citizenship 2 years and 9 months after you get your lawful permanent residency card. Yes, that includes even if it's a conditional card, conditional residency. So, and everyone else, it's 4 years and 9 months after you get your green card. So you look at the date on your green card. if you are married to a U.S. citizen and you're still living with a U.S. citizen and you got, you don't have to have gotten, you don't need to have gotten the green card through the U.S. citizen, but you look at the card and you add 2 years and 9 months from the date that was issued, and that is the time that you can apply for U.S. citizenship. Now, I would use a date calculator on the internet like we do, a date calculator app, because you do not want to file it too early. I just met with someone whose N400 was denied because she filed it too early. So don't file it too early. Maybe
I mean, there's no harm in giving yourself a little bit of cushion.
A couple of days, right?
You don't need to.
I honestly 2 years and 9 months. You use a date calculator, and we, as immigration attorneys, we add a couple days onto that, just in case the date calculator was wrong. I mean, we're not manually counting; we're using a date calculator. So, and again, everyone else, 4 years and 9 months, and you'll see it written in different places, 3 years or 5 years. You can apply 90 days early. So that's why I subtract the months. Okay. What else do we have going on here? We have a few more minutes.
Yeah, we got a couple more questions coming through here.
And before you take that question, I just want to remind everyone that Ukraine, the citizens and nationals of Ukraine who are living here in the United States, maybe you're here on an F1, a B1, maybe you're in removal proceedings, maybe whatever the situation is, temporary protected status is being offered to citizens of Ukraine here in the United States. They have designated an 18-month period. It is not, as of this evening, printed in the Federal Register yet, so we can't quite put those applications in. But the requirement is that you have to have been present in the United States on March the 1st, 2022, just a few days ago. So anyone coming in after that date are not going to be eligible for TPS, unfortunately. And you have to show proof that you were here as of March 1st, 2022. So Gardner Mendoza, our law firm here located in Virginia, but we serve clients all over the world and, of course, all 50 states. We will be offering TPS workshops to help people from Ukraine apply for that and complete their TPS applications if they want to pursue that. So I wanted to make that announcement right before we ended. And you guys, follow our Facebook page and join our Live Love Immigration group. Ria, if you can put that in the comments, how to join our Live Love Immigration group, so we can have a discussion about this and any other questions that you guys might have. Yeah, and it's again, if you schedule a consultation with us, then we can get into it in more detail, whatever kind of case it is, because what we do here is technically not legal advice. It's for educational and informational purposes only. I said that at the outset, and I want to remind everyone of that. If you do make schedule a consultation with us, then we can dig a lot deeper into your case and give you some actual advice on what we think you should do. Right. All right. Okay. And that's the only update, by the way. The other, occasionally, I don't get them very often anymore. I think everybody kind of knows the deal, but all the other immigration reform that was pending is it's all basically paused, stalled out now. Yep. For who knows? We will keep you. Yeah, we will keep you posted about immigration reform. Okay, so Mia, let's put her question back. Mia, my fiance lives in Washington. How are we going to communicate? So we will communicate via Zoom, or if you prefer Messenger or FaceTime, that's how we meet our clients. If anyone is not local here, just a little bit about our system. So if you need to upload documents, we have our software system. It's all immigration focused and related. We send you questionnaires to complete. You can upload your documents directly into our software, and we communicate via Zoom. pretty much with everyone, actually, with everyone, even people who are here locally. We communicate through Zoom
or
and
just
phone. Yeah.
I was going to say, or just a phone call. But yes, we can do everything regardless of where you are.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
in fact, we do that with most of our clients who are here, just preferred anyway.
Yep.
It's easier than having to go drive down to our office.
Okay. Last comment from Mia. You look like a Filipino. John looks like a Filipino.
Thank you. I'm not Filipino. And
see, it's getting late. We're getting goofy. This is when we're getting goofy.
There's a reason that she looks like a Filipina. Her parents are from the Philippines.
Yes. So. Yeah. I don't look exactly like Filipino. That would be my siblings. My siblings always teased me that I was adopted, but I wasn't. I'm pretty sure I wasn't. I am Filipino. All right, Mia.
So Fort Sarah wanted to know, she said that her spouse is, I guess he's a U.S. citizen, is petitioning for her so that she can adjust her status, but he has a criminal record, and she is concerned that will affect her ability to adjust her status if her petitioner has a criminal record.
Yeah, that is a valid concern. I will say though that a criminal record that deals with minors and specifically anything that would land you on the what is that list called?
Which one are you talking about?
The list where, there's been abuse of children.
The sexual offender list?
The sexual offender list.
Yeah.
Thank you. So if the crime pertains to children and anything dealing with the sexual offender list, then that could be a problem for the petition. But we have had clients whose spouses have had other types of crimes, drug charges, drug convictions, DUIs, assault and batteries. And typically not going to be a problem for a petition for adjustment of status. I mean, if it was a K1 and we had an assault and battery and it was a domestic assault and battery, that could be potentially an issue. So it really depends on what it's for, what the convictions are for, and what the charges are. So I wouldn't worry necessarily, but I would definitely get it checked out, and we'd be happy to consult with you on that.
Mm-hmm. And VT Rose checked in to say that she does not think she's not going Filipino. She said you look Korean.
Yeah.
And has a question.
See, this is why everyone thought I was adopted. Okay.
Yeah, we have some more questions here. Do you want to try to grab? We're getting short on time. If you want to grab one there, if not, we've got plenty here still. And remember, folks, we do this every Wednesday from 8 to 9 o'clock. So if we don't get to your question tonight, then make sure you check in with us next Wednesday, or even better, just contact our office,
just hire us
and schedule a consultation. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So was there a last question or?
Yes. Christian Bradley wanted to know, is there a chance that I can petition both of my parents, sister, and her son all at the same time? So I'm assuming in the question that they're eligible. I think the question is just
can you
whether
do it
can be one big case.
So they would all have to be separate petitions filed. The sibling, when you petition for your sister, it's a really, really long wait. It's 15 to 23 years, depending on where you're from. I'm sorry, where your sister is from, and which maybe you're also from the same place and born in the same place. But for your parents, yes, you can. The answer is yes. You can file a separate petition for everyone. However, because it takes so long for sibling, you may want the parents to immigrate first, and then for your parents to file for your sister if she's unmarried. If she's married, then yes, go ahead and file for your sister. But your parents should. I mean, if money were no object, then you should file the petition for everyone, and then when your parents get to immigrate to the United States, they can file a petition for your sister if she's unmarried.
Yeah, and VT Rose, we're running out of time here because I wanted to get to your question, but I need some more information. So if you want to reach out to us, you can direct message us. Excuse me, send us a message, info@gmlaw.net. All right.
All right. Okay, really quick. Let me grab this one.
Info@gmlaw.net.
Info@gmlaw.net. Okay. So Xana says the one whose mom does not want to immigrate here. She's an LPR, lawful permanent resident, 50 year in April with 2 kids and husband. When can I apply for the N400? If you have been a lawful permanent resident coming on 5 years in April, which is next month, you can apply now. All right. That was a good one to end on. If we did not get to your question,
Come
we
next week,
apologize.
right? We're out of time, everybody.
But here's our timekeeper. This is our youngest daughter, Ray, and she is 10 and almost 11. So she always lets us know that it's time for dinner.
Yep, when she comes up.
It's time to help.
She's got a great shirt there, too.
It's time to help with the homework.
Look at that.
Ohio, go Bucks.
Yeah, that's my alma mater right there. Ohio State, go Bucks.
Thank you guys so much for all of your wonderful questions. I hope they helped you, and I hope they helped everyone else who's listening in as well.
Make sure you join us next week. Same time, same place. All right, everyone? Have a great week.
All right. 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
See you guys.
See you next
This
week.
is not legal advice.
Yeah, that's right, Ray.